commodities in the world. What a pleasure to be a Ugandan at this time. This dream was highlighted in daylight, broad daylight, in a place called Gulu. When the president visited us in Gulu, we were starting a small cafe in Gulu town to help our people understand that coffee is a beverage, so we need to drink it as Ugandans. And when the president opened that small cafe, he saw a big light lighting out in a small corner of Uganda. And he said, you people, it seems Uganda is waking up. And indeed, several years down the road, we are now here, not just seeing a small cafe, but now starting a fire that will inspire Africa and will inspire the global South to challenge the global North in coffee industry. So I am really very proud to be in this state and to welcome you to this park as you see it. I want to thank in a special way the STI ministry in the office of the president. These are the architects, these are the midwives who have protected this egg, very delicate, very fragile, against all odds. But now the egg is beginning to bake a nice chick, and it will grow into a big cock, and Uganda will be proud. This is great, and soon you will see it with your eyes. I want to say that as we speak, the new coffee dream, the new coffee boom will go throughout Uganda. The first one was concentrated in central Uganda. The second boom, coffee boom, will be in western Uganda, will be in northern Uganda, will be in Karamoja, will be everywhere. This is what we are dreaming to see. And Rashameire industry will help us to achieve this in a big way. So prepare yourself to be part of this dream and to be part of the next boom. I'm glad we are here. I wish you a good time, and please feel at home, enjoy the coffee, enjoy the events, and please share all your dreams with everybody and your neighbors. Thank you. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Chairman, for that historic account. The story of this park starts from Guru. They always say, Rubanga te Guru, Sente te Kampara, Kofi te Ntungamo. I will now ask the chairman of Ntungamo district to welcome us in his area.
Our chief guest, the Lord Chief Justice of Uganda, honorable ministers, Minister for Presidency, Minister for Energy, our CEO, members of Parliament present, ladies and gentlemen, Chungu Samuel Salongo is my name, and I'm so delighted to host the Chief Justice of this country. Welcome to Ntungamo, my Lord Chief Justice. I'm so delighted to host the Minister for Presidency. Welcome, Mama Babalanda. The history with me, with her, were together in the office of the National Chairman. And we worked hand in hand, and you see where Uganda is. And I thank His Excellency for appointing you in that position. And also, very delighted to host the Minister for Energy. At one time, also worked when she was in defense. And she also mentored me. That's why you see I'm the governor of Ntungamo. So, fellow Ntungamonians who are here, what a pleasure to have such a state of art, a factory that is so big in East and Central Africa. I wish to inform you that now, since this state of art coffee park, Tungamo has never been the same again. We have earned, we have a lot of money here, hotels are full, people, you see business in Washamire, at least I know 20 million in 3 days is in my town council. And I believe now that now we are going to have the first product. Now Ntungamo is going to shine. One time, I was all over TikTok, social media, everywhere, talking about coffee. Even one of the radios, I think Capital Radio, everyone was abusing the district chairperson of Ntungamo, that coffee, the Ugandan coffee is going to Ntungamo. But now, it's a dream. Now whoever was abusing the chairman, shame on him or her. I wish to tell all the Ugandans that as the leadership of Ntungamo, we are going to do all our best to make sure that we keep the quality of coffee, because Ntungamo has the best quality coffee, and we have maintained it. I wish to thank Operation Wealth Creation for having with that innovation that actually we should have the best quality coffee. Now what we are going to do is to make sure we sensitize our farmers, and our farmers are going to be the champion of coffee in the whole country. Our chief guest, sir, I'm happy we are here. You came very early, you enjoyed, and really let Tungamo be your second home. Ndugu Tugume Nelson CEO, let our chief guest feel so comfortable, and then at least, actually, today, now we shall give you a name, the Chinyankore name. Shall get the Chinyankore name, and then we'll do the in the Karamajongo way, and then we'll do all the initiations, and then at least So your chief guest so feels so comfortable in Ntungamo. One we would like to thank you. Let me first go astray a bit. That you also Ntungamo, you give it the circuit. Now we are going to have a high court in Ntungamo district. Thank you so much, our chief guest. And already, as a district, we have already offered land. And actually, they are transferring the land in the names of the judiciary. So, anytime, you will be coming also to commission the High Court building. So thank you so much. And I also would like to thank our ministers. First of all, a Minister for Presidency. As a council, we are giving the presidency land so that they get their own offices. Also, I would like to thank the Minister for Energy that actually the dream of the President of having factories here, and soon will be commissioning the steel industry in Ntungamo district. We shall be getting iron ore from Kabare and Rwanda. So we shall start with the manufacturing what we call pig iron to replace the scrap. Now this one is going to be in Ntungamo. In February, God willing, inshallah, we shall be commissioning. So Ntungamo is going to change. I wish to tell you that now Ntungamo, when I think the president on 26th January, the Liberation Day, I think we are celebrating it here. We shall be unveiling the master plan of Ntungamo district, for which it's going to be a 50-year master plan. And this one will be having all the parks, all the everything, because Ntungamo is the heart of Uganda. Because we are going to, this is going to be a tourism hub, the agro-tourism, everything. When you are here in Ntungamo, you fly to Queen Elizabeth, 45 minutes. You fly to Kigali, 45 minutes. You fly to Impenetrable, 45 minutes. You fly to Entebbe, 45 minutes. What a pearl and great Ntungamo. Our chief guest, I wish to introduce my vice chairman, and who happens now to be one of the organizing committee, Ndugu Chigongo. Come for recognition. Ndugu Chigongo is working, what you will see him. I also have the local leadership, Councillor Emily, who is representing Rwashamire and Nyabihoko, where we are. Emily, where are you? Emily, okay. I also wish to introduce RDC, the new RDC, in front of you, Mama Mary Baba Baranda. Thank you, one, for promoting her. She was in Karungu as a deputy RDC, and she has been there. And now, I've seen her. She's so wonderful. She is hands-on. She doesn't like sitting in office. She always wants to go to the field and see the Bazukuru of President Yoweri Museveni. She is a very good mobilizer. So, she is in the right place. And she has also reduced that people on the bench waiting for the RDCs. So she said, this is for probation, for who? Mine, I've come to work for the president, and then I mobilize for the masses. Thank you, RDC, and keep it up. And also, we have a very good working relationship as the principals of the district, me, Kao, and her, and other security agencies. I'm so happy that she's here, and really, I wish she could be here for more than how many years, I don't know. So, keep that heart, and I think God will reward you abundantly. Ladies and gentlemen, me, when I'm to talk, I will talk and talk and talk. I will not talk about the history of this coffee park, but we've gone through thin, thick, and everywhere. But I thank His Excellency really for being a parent. When we approached him, really he listened to our prayer. Now today, I can't wait commissioning or inaugurating the first trailer now going to the world market. Thank you so much, Ndugu Dr. Lim, for your message. You are so inspiring. So thank you so much. With those remarks, I thank you, your Chief Justice. Thank you for coming. Thank you for accepting the invitation. And when you go, God will reward you abundantly. For God and my country.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. We can now feel at home. We have permission from the governor. Although I didn't know Ntungamo people count in base 20, the chairman said he would use 2 minutes. He has used 20. Your Lordship, around me, invite me, members of Parliament, who have come from different parts of the country, to greet the Ntungamo people, led by the chairman of the STI committee, Honorable Nyonsaba.
I always have height disadvantage. Anthony Akol is my name, Member of Parliament, Kilak North in Amuru District, Acholi Sub-Region, and also Member of Budget Committee of Parliament of Uganda. Your Lordship, Chigamoy, the cabinet ministers, the members of parliament, and all others, but at most Dr. Lim. You know, that names mean rain is drizzling, so I know the reason why the rain is here now. I did not like coffee until last year in November, when a young member of parliament from a district attacked another member of parliament during coffee debate, and the other member of parliament was from Acholi sub-region. And then there was a small scuffle in Parliament of Uganda. And then when I sat down, I thought, how can I remember this day? That is when I entered the issue of coffee. So, my brother Nelson, I am part of you. For those who are here, everything that happen in this world start from a mind of one individual. It can be a chair you are seated on. It can be a phone that you are holding or using. It can be a shoe you are putting on. It is an idea from somebody's mind. It is always said that poor mind will think about money. Rich mind will think about things. My house, my car, my what. But a wealthy mind is always about ideas. I thank you, my brother Nelson, for the ideas that we are celebrating today. The only thing I can pledge to you is, as a son from Acholi sub-region and as a member of the budget committee, and also, God willing, when I'm back to Parliament, I will always be your ambassador. I thank you very much, and I must apologize to the rest of the country that I was one of the person really against giving resources to my brother Nelson. But today, I am a witness to this country. Thank you very much.
You'll allow me to stand on the protocol as it has been observed. Good evening. My name is Dennis Nyangweso. I am a member of Parliament representing Samia Bugwe Central in Busia District. I am also a member of the Presidential Advisory Committee on the Budget, PACOB. I also sit on the Budget Committee. The first time I interacted with Mr. Tugume, we were faced with a request to support Inspire Africa group. And we requested to interact with him as a committee. And he obliged and came. He gave us his story. You would see that he would speak from his heart. But the story appeared like a motivational speaker. We are faced with a challenge of believing him and supporting his idea. And as a committee, we eventually supported him. I come before you this evening to congratulate Inspire Africa Group. The CEO, Mr. Tugume, congratulations, and your team for dreaming big. This is the way to go. Just like my colleague Anthony has said, we are going to become your ambassadors. We have seen value for money here, and we shall advocate to support you. Not only through funding, but through legislation and policies that will support your vision. Thank you very much.
My Lord, the Chief Justice, the Honorable Ministers present here, Honorable Ruth Nankabirwa, our Minister of State for Defense for 8 years, the one who participated in the peaceful disarmament in Karamoja. I'm happy to see you here. I'm sure you are bringing good news to Nelson. My sister, Babalanda, a great friend and a family friend, thank you for being here to celebrate this idea. My elder, our patriot, General Otema, Major General Otema, thank you, my brother, for being here. And as we were discussing this idea, we need really quickly to also really sprout with the support of Nelson in northern Uganda. My dear brother and senior elder, Dr. Lemlem, Tonyomoja Katkot, Alakara Norway, the chairman of board of governors of this Inspire Africa. You see, we Karamojong also, we are getting somewhere. So we are happy really to celebrate the unique ideas of our His Excellency the President. First of all, for redressing some of the historical injustices, bring even Karamoja on board, and also really seeing through these young people's ideas, the idea of a young man. Nelson, I started drinking your coffee when you first opened the first coffee shop in a worker's house. Back those people think, what have the Karamojong to do with coffee? Many people don't know that coffee actually grows in Karamoja. Namalu. The people there who came and opened a mission. Nelson about how to more my Lord Ntungamo, we are with in this innovation, undertaking of growing coffee, also taking to other Uganda. Mine is to say, let's be happy as Ugandans. We are making a breakthrough in this project. We are making a real breakthrough. Nelson, before you go to the American market, the European market, let's fight to get rid of Nescafe in our supermarket. Let's get rid of Nescafe in East Africa. Let's get rid of Nescafe in Nigeria, in South Africa. Let's penetrate the African market. Just like we have done taking our milk to Algeria, where we are about 5 million. The African market itself is worth billions of shillings. I think we can go to 5 countries to embrace our product. I'm happy that we are sending a whole trailer of the first batch we are launching today. We must celebrate this breakthrough in South Africa. I know Mr. Babalanda and the Minister of SPI, the Secretary of India, my brother, engineer, will celebrate our chairman of science and technology. We are already becoming an hub, even in the pathogen economy.
webari mnonga omurebi wa Tayari West kandi uri kureba amakuru gitu agenshonga ndi job kato kandi rizuba nyemerire omurwa Shamire omuri Ntungamo district ngo kutimanya omunsi yone rizuba ni international coffee day kandi ntongera ku celebrating anashukuza kujaguza ebyo ebirkurga omumwani omunsi yona twemerira hari Inspire Africa group nashi Africa coffee park omurwa Shamire twenda kugamba hona Duncan Abigaba gunwa head of corporate affairs aha company je abarukora omwani na nebikurugamo kutugambira izoberi okubaza kurunginga products z'omwani ebirikuza kurugamu na nebirikuza kureba ngweji products zanzibasa kuyamba abanya-Uganda ahabwe byona ebyono bikorwa izoberi twakwakira Duncan turi live at Tayari West
mwebare mnonga ba Tayari West mwebare mnongo murimo hagire ntunguka ntsima mwebare kwija kuhagera omukoro gwerizoba kuguta hamwe TV yanyu no kushomesa ihanga ryona ekiriyo ntikorwa muri Ntungamo na no mu sector yiti y'omwani ntsima
erizoba tiro celebrate kandi muza kurunginga products ni nkazinga hika ni nkazi hezi kuza kugira ngo omunya-Uganda bena mankwa kubana nda product age na ija hapa
tuzakurunginga products ina erizoba tushemere kuba tushohoza products 10 zono zigisire konka erizo twashohoza ina ezo kubanza ngecyo kureberaho ziriyo nizakuzo mu Katare twina abantu abakuza kuzitambuza aha abari kwetaba dembe transporters twahandikira endagano eshaha yona omwani gwa Ntungamo noija kuba nogureba omu supermarket ningo muduke kushikiri hati omwani oguri kuza kushohora nduguwo nza kushohoza omwani ogokize gwa kweta roast coffee inspire roast coffee nza kushohoza omwani ogushekwire ogwa inspire ground coffee nza kushohoza omwani ogwa drip coffee omwani ogwa drip coffee nikora nko koreba katiba gakamajani konka oguno gushamisa ha chikopo oshukamwa mizi ningo shukamwa mate okora omwani gwa wonywa ntwiza kushohoza omwani ogubara kweta capsule ninka kajoma kokor kuchurra so no katsa echoma nibacheta capsule machine haza chikorro omwani murungi munonga so ogwo mwani ebikabi nabyo mwani byo kuja kutongoza erizoba twine chief justice wihangaha mukuru wa court zone omuramuzi mukuru owechitinisa Alphonse Owinyidoro ariyaha yayebemberamu omukorogu yatika shaitano yarambara factory yarambara emisiri y'omwani nyabihoko achitwine neshaheji twine ba minister bamshagatire minister w'enshonga z'amashanyarazi honorable Rusa Nankabirwa twine minister w'enshonga bwa office ya president honorable Babaranda na wariyaha twine omuhinji w'omwani ranganwa kandi general Otema n'omuhinji w'omwani ranganwa omurunwoya muri yachori twine ba MPs bingi bariyaha budget committee ya enshonga za office ya president etwirene hagere project bona bariyaha erizabija kutushagika kugira ngo twatongoza products zazo mu Katare
okutongoza products ezerizoba ntiza kuyamba kito muhinji w'omwani owaho mu Rwashamire nangwa na burengero izoba
omuhinji w'omwani owa Rwashamire na burengero izoba atwire natunga omuhendo muke atwire natunga omuhendo muke omwani omwe abeta ba midomani bija bagura omwani gwe gukiriyo mu musiri bamuho busente buke bagira bata mbwene hati tukozire tutireho program aha factory abantu abeherire factory age abanyantungamo nemyanye itherire mitoma bushenyi kanungu n'ahandi omwani gwaye mwiza kuba numugureta noguza omuntu processing omwani wenyini tokuguza wa hagati hakuba wa hagati uri kuguza kuri kumuguza nawe agira hata aretaha hati akwibiwe hati ntwenda ngo tuhereze omuhendo ogwa factory gwenyine ecyo uri kureberaho hati nakwe ecyo uri kureberaho wazoko mwani ogushubwire green bean gurinka hamtwaro gumwe nenkomina kuri kureta hakwita turiyo mutwaro gumwe nakakaga so ntujya kuherezaho omuhendo gukiraho ubwo abandi babire nbaha
babare munonga ezo nenshonga zimwe ezabantu zibahirizwa kandi uko kureba umugore wo ngendo misho tumanyisa ngo itwe nkatayaro zizakoragana se kugira ngo umukoro gubona nebirabeho no mukoronkinga products ina ezibagambirizwa kuzo mu Katare kandi ujuke ngo ombero nkabire bishatu products zibaza kubantu baze exportinga omwihanga erya Somalia ebeniza kubare ibanki yo kubanza kurgari Africa Inspire Africa Coffee Group kuno omurwashamire Ntungamo.
Stories were told that it's impossible to get those levels of variation. But you followed it up and to work. Thank you very much. And also, the way you think big, like now the associated industry,
associated with here. It's quite amazing. And also, you are the first in Africa to have that vision of creating an Africa coffee park. I think it's a big challenge to the young population. The young people, Nelson has shown you the way. Please see what to do. Previously, I worked with General Tema in the Ministry of Defense, and we also did our part there. We did our part. There was a lot of modifications of our equipment to handle the challenges on the battlefield then, and we did it. Thumbs up to General Tema also. Thank you very much. From where you started and where the army is today, it's from your sacrifice. Thank you very much. And I want to give a challenge to all of you that it's always good to leave legacy on this world. So what is it you'll be remembered for? It's very important. So all of you, it's important that you leave legacy on this world. That's when people will remember you and follow your footsteps or add on to what you have done. I will not go very far because others have talked in great detail. So I will only inform Mr. Nelson. I come from Kisoro, and Kisoro also produces coffee, and actually Arabic coffee. I'm a flag bearer for the next Kisanja, and what I want to follow up most is coffee growing and tourism, our usual tourism on the gorillas. So I can see we are in the same direction. I will be your student if you don't mind. Let me end here and again tell you my name. I'm Alex Nyonsaba, the Member of Parliament for Fumbira South, Kisoro District, and I'm the chairperson of the Committee of Science, Technology and Innovation. Thank you.
For Honorable.
When my brother introduced the MPs here, 5 of them, I was like, what a big problem. These guys are paid to talk. They are going to talk for 5 hours, but thank you for the short time. But I'm sure you've seen the dream. You are fighting us not to get the money. I don't know if you're coming back next year to be on that committee, but I hope if you do, we are happy. If you don't, you've seen the dream. My Lord, all protocols observed, and you must be wondering why I'm the smartest dressed person tonight. I'll tell you why. Today, yes, 1st October, World Coffee Day, but today is product launch. Nelson is my young brother. I've known him for many years. When I see a product coming out of here, I had to dress up. Because I'm a marketeer, I know when a product is coming out. I work for Pepsi. When we're going to launch Mountain Dew, so today is a special day. Launching a product out of here. I'll tell you stories about this place. But to see a product today coming out, 1st October, I had to dress up. Now, let me give you simple numbers. Uganda produced 1 million bags of coffee as of May last year. That got us $2 billion. This spark can take about 10 to 15% of that $1 million. When the president says value addition, so just 10% of this spark is going to bring in $5 billion. That's why today, when we launched the first product, I had to dress up.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to launch. But before we launch, you must know the story for Nelson, the CEO. So watch the screens. Let's have the video on the screens telling us about
hills in Africa,
the CEO.
He was born with no silver spoon, no safety net, just a dream and burning determination to change his destiny. Nelson Tugume was no stranger to hardship, witnessing the struggles in his early life as a taxi operator or even as a shop attendant. He fought for every inch of progress. But even in the darkest moments, he saw something more, a glimpse of a future he desired to create. At the epitome of success, he founded the Inspire Africa Group, a visionary development movement dedicated to elevating Uganda's coffee value chain, from empowering farmers to expanding coffee export through value addition. The organization is spearheading the development of the Africa Coffee Park. Set in Ntungamo district, the Africa Coffee Park is a result of a bold vision. A 300-acre agro-industrial hub transforming the coffee value chain.
Right from 1986, I started the struggle to add value to our coffee, because our cadres told me the value differential between our coffee sold as beans and what it would get when processed as soluble coffee or any other type of final coffee to be consumed.
The project began in 2017 and accelerated around 2021. And as of mid-2025, in these quiet hills in Africa, he was born. With no silver spoon, no safety net, just a dream and burning determination to change his destiny. Nelson Tugume was no stranger to hardship, witnessing the struggles in his early life as a taxi operator or even as a shop attendant. He fought for every inch of progress. But even in the darkest moments, he saw something more, a glimpse of a future he desired to create. At the epitome of success, he founded the Inspire Africa Group, a visionary development movement dedicated to elevating Uganda's coffee value chain, from empowering farmers to expanding coffee export through value addition. The organization is spearheading the development of the Africa Coffee Park. Set in Ntungamo district, the Africa Coffee Park is a result of a bold vision. A 300-acre agro-industrial hub transforming the coffee value chain.
Right from 1986, I started the struggle to add value to our coffee, because our cadres told me the value differential between our coffee sold as beans and what it would get when processed as soluble coffee or any other type of final coffee to be consumed.
The project began in 2017 and accelerated around 2021. And as of mid-2025, construction is about 80% and equipment installation at 85%. These industrial steel structures have been a game changer, marked for cost efficiency, strength, durability, and speed. Inside these steel structures is high-tech equipment and state-of-the-art machinery, the best from around the globe. The plant houses wet and dry mills, a roasting line, freeze-dry and spray-dry units ready to produce instant soluble coffee, cold brew canned coffee, drip coffee, and even coffee cosmetics. Fresh red cherries are received and go through the wet mill. Pulped, washed, and dried beans are roasted and ground in the roaster section. A freezer unit converts ground coffee into fine instant granules. spray-dry system handles soluble powder. Packaging lines fill sachets, capsules, cans, and even prepare raw material for cosmetic lines. All stages anchored by modern production workflows and quality control of up to a dozen of products.
We must, yes, do import substitution, but also engage in export promotion, because the export markets are bigger, industrial and even agricultural. The internal market is not enough.
At full capacity, the park is expected to create over 4,800 jobs while enabling millions of farmers to earn premium prices. The facility expects to grow Uganda's coffee export revenue from $2 billion to over $5 billion in the coming 5 years, marking a transformative leap in industrialization. This is more than a factory. It's a coffee academy, a mustard seed IT park where technology will meet opportunity, a multi-purpose waste management plant that will turn trash into opportunity, a coffee tourism park that will give the world a unique African coffee experience, a multi-purpose sports facility with a world-class convention center, and yes, a coffee international airport and business hub that will take our borderless coffee to the global market.
I'm on a mission to change how Africa learns, builds, and adds value.
The Africa Coffee Park, a place where rural opportunity meets global markets, empowering farmers, boosting exports, and reimagining a national identity rooted in innovation.
Yeah. So now we're going to have a show, Phenon, and have the product. Are you ready? But that documentary, there are many things are missing. I'll tell you Nelson's story. You people have suffered. Are you ready? Phenon, are you ready? And starting tomorrow, the biggest distributors, Dembe, you're going to see the products in supermarkets. When you see those 3 magic words, made in Uganda, just buy. 3 magic words, made in Uganda, Inspire Coffee. Yeah? Phenon, I'm waiting for you. Where's the show? Where's the show? Ready, ready? Okay. So as they get ready, I met Nelson many years ago. Things that the documentary hasn't told you. At one point, he started importing cars. He would go to Mombasa, we drive cars, bring, sell, go back, sleepless nights. Then one day he said, no, let me enter sugarcane business. He started driving trucks, sugarcane. Maybe Nelson will be there. Driving sugarcane. I just look at this guy and I say, you man. Then he came one time and said, JK, I'm going to start coffee here. My father, where? I said, do you have a feasibility study? Then he said, JK, you know manya, Nathan. If you go to a feasibility study, it will be too expensive. You will not start. Okay, they are said, more stories. Okay, 1st October 2025, launching our first product from the African Coffee Park. Rashamira, are you ready? Tungamo, are you ready? Are you ready? Adding value to every bean. supermarkets. Just buy. If you like the strong taste, you take Robusta. If you want strong coffee, Robusta. And you can see the products rising. Hey! If you want a clear picture, TikTokers, come close. You can go close and take the pictures. Introducing, we set up a Robusta coffee. That's Robusta. If you want that strong coffee, that's Robusta right there. Come on, guys. You're not clapping. Let me tell you, what we are doing here in Africa, it is only South Africa and Egypt. The other 50 countries, Tebat Sobola. Obugalo! So in Africa, we are number 3. And we shall take over South Africa because it's not even their coffee. It's Nestle that is there, here, grown here, produced here. We are now going to send instant coffee to Italy. Yeah. Those are our biggest clients. So just let you know, Uganda produces 1 million bags. Italy, as a small country, every year they consume 6 million bags. Whatever, there should be a rule like Idi Amin. Everybody plant coffee. We need an Idi Amin. Eh? Are we good? Fenon Chagana Maso? Okay. So at this point, allow me invite a very good friend. Now, imaba nyankore numujarangu muiniteka etaka. You think you have land. This man has land, has cows. The president visited him. He walked, got tired, then he got the goggles and says, Your Excellency, look, there are more cows the other side. And he has pledged, he has walked this park. Yeah, to car, yeah. I must see everything. I must see. How much is this one? $2 million. Right. How much is this? $10 million. Okay. Right. Ah. He has 500 acres of coffee. He's going to plant 10,000 acres of coffee. Give it up for one of the biggest farmers in Uganda, General Otema.
Is it you have overdone it? My Lord, Chief Justice of Uganda, Honorable Ministers, Member of Parliament, my brother Dr. Lim Lim, the LC5 of Tungamo and the RDC, and everyone, good evening. My young brother Tugume, I used to remember him driving a small, very nice Mercedes-Benz. Then my good friend, the late General Ronda, he said, look at this young boy. You know how he used to talk. Whatever, look at this young boy. Now, we have to invite him to talk to our officers' men when we were opening one of the biggest circle in the country was Alendo, to inspire the young people that it's possible. When you make the saving, you can make it. I've known him of talking big things, big things. One time, he came with a group of young people, spent a night at my place, talking about coffee. That night, with Tugume's talk, I became a billionaire. Because when you sit with him, his dream is big money, not anything small. So when he invited me to come, that I come and be with him today, I was imagining those small coffee hala, which I always see in Buganda there, in the part of Ankole here. My God, when I got here, I got lost. I said, this is the Tugume I know. Talking big, now it has become real. Congratulations. You have inspired many, including my senior, my elder brother, the Chief Justice, who have taken your election very seriously. And I want to thank him that the transformation of the North, right now we have more than 10,000 acres, people have planted coffee because of his inspiring the people, educating our people, that forget about cotton. Let's move. He started with academia, but I don't know how far he has gone with academia, but all I said, he said, actually, abandon this, let's concentrate. And through his effort, the government have put 60 billion this financial year. And Dr. Tugume, I think we are going to be one of your biggest suppliers. Because what we have seen, and when we are moving around, I hope all this, what has been shown here, is going to be shown in all the TVs of Uganda, so that they know that the story is real. Because people are thinking, look at this boy, he's too sharp. How can you convince the president to give $10 million, to give $80 million, and what have you? But from what we have seen, and what honorable member of parliament have seen, and other people have come from part of the country, they have seen. And this is not the so-called investor, the foreign investor, which we always favored, but this is Ugandans. I'm very happy for that. If many Ugandans can be supported, who have the dream to do what you have done, I think this is the biggest transformation which you are going to have in this country. Not some of these investors, the briefcase investors, but the Ugandans What they have demonstrated, I believe our leader, our president, will think through and will be holding hands of the local investors, and we shall achieve our total transformation. Yes, you have raised quite a number of challenges, but I'm happy. One of the biggest challenges is power, and our senior minister is here of energy. She's a very practical, because they started with defense, because defense is full of actions. You can imagine a young minister commanding the generals. Now, commanding these engineers of electrical is not a difficult thing. The power will reach, I believe. Thing will be sorted out. And of course, under the Ministry of Presidency, our dear minister is also here. She has witnessed under the ICT, I believe a lot more will be done. And for the young generation, you can see from a young man, a taxi operator, to a billionaire, I always say it's all possible if you are focused and hardworking. It's about hardworking and being focused. All can be achieved. Now, when you look some of the young generation crying for lack of jobs, deviating and taking bangi and other things, and when you look at Mugume here, maybe Mugume, come. You are an age mate of my young brothers. I can order you. Though you're a CEO, being an elder. The TV people, are you showing? Let Uganda see that behind this young man, the brain is very big and hardworking. Because when you look at, when you are driving in Tungamo here, I used to be a commander here of 2nd Division. What I always see, the hills, how are these people making use of the hills and the cows climbing the hills and what have you. But what he has done to the hill is amazing. I thank you very much. I thank you very, very much. We are there with the guidance of our senior leader, the CJ. We are going to support you. Because we know as we grow the coffee, the market will be available. Unlike when we used to grow coffee, cotton, the price, the Indian said, deposit cotton here. The payment will be given later. After you have suffered selecting coffee when we are from the school, and when we escape to go and dance, you have to come and sort the cotton. You can imagine what we have gone through. But now with coffee, we can be sure of the market. Thank you very much. Once again, enjoy your evening. I was asking Tungamo that you are keeping us here up to late hours. We have seen a very beautiful, the coffee and wherever take us to the resort. The resort is not yet completed. Where are we going to sleep? He said, don't worry. In Tungamo, you have been catered for. So we are yet to see what will happen over the night. Thank you.
General,
Afoyo Bino, Afoyo Matek, Afoyo Teach. That is my small law. And now, it's time to invite, but before I do, my Lord, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Professor J.K. Kazora. I don't think we've made acquaintances of met, I don't think. But yeah, that's my name. I met Nelson Tugume through a young brother of mine called Daniel Ibanda. We're doing a reality TV show, empowering young youth. And my job was to teach Nelson how to be a TV presenter. So every time, so I said to him, you hold yourself like this, you have to express with the hands. And when you see him talking today, that is my trainee, I trained him. That's what I do for a living, yeah. So the reality TV show is going to come back this year. We're going to launch it with Victoria University. So if you have an idea, we're going to invest money in you and make sure you become another big entrepreneur. But my generation, every generation, someone comes up. The people who were born in the 70s, my brother Bebekul, they had Mike Ezra. He came and shook us. In our generation, Nelson has come. We need to pray for him. We need to support him. Because if Nelson is going to make 5 billion next year here, me, Kazora, who knows him, I can't be poor. How? Or you, Kachina, or you can't be, because you are attracted to $1 billion. There is no way you can be poor. In fact, my aunt here, Honorable Ruth, was talking about the name Haraka Coffee. I have a name, a brand name for coffee. All the branding is done. We're going to bring and they make for us our brand here. And what I do for a living, we are going to market it and we shall be billionaires. That's the attraction of billionaires. So if Tugume is here in our generation, is making it, pray for him, support him, be close to him. You will be a billionaire. Stand up, put your hands together. Let's welcome the CEO, African Park, Nelson Tugume.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. My Lord, Chief Justice of the Republic of Uganda. I don't know if this has echo or I can be able. Can I use that?
Is this better? Right. My friend, and allow me today, because it's the Coffee International Day,
to address you as a fellow coffee farmer from Rututuri Hills, if you agree or allow my fellow farmer, because like they say, General Toma has 1,000 cattle. I also have a bit of 1,000 of trees, and then so you allow me to address you in this capacity as my fellow farmer. Honorable Minister of Energy, my sister, my senior, it's a pleasure to see you, Mama, Honorable Minister for the Presidency. It's good to see you in Tungamo. General Tema, my senior, my brother, you know you have always inspired me, and taking off your big schedule to come and be with this dream that you have known for a long time. Of course, my chairman for the board, Dr. Limlim, who we share a lot of history, a lot of goals. He inspires me a lot. Dr. Limlim, please stand up once again. Dr. Limlim, the reason why I said he inspires me, how I got to know him, I told him I was going to Karamoja to grow coffee. In one of the areas called Tim, that is in Kabong, at the apex of Kenya. I had personal challenges, so I asked for a vacation alone from my wife and my family, that I wanted to be somewhere no one could be able to access me. And I told my wife I would be safe. So I got my small car, reached Kabong. Kabongo is in Karamoja. And I got an interpreter. I had packed my gas, I had my tent, and I went and camped in Kabong for 2 weeks. I had a very amazing experience. I stayed in Manyata for 2 weeks, but I remember one woman, elderly woman. I had a lot of allergy when I was there because it was very cold. And I had been adopted in one of the families. So because of the allergy, we couldn't really speak. My interpreter had gone back to Kabongo town. So this lady saw me with a lot of mucus and allergies and called me. And I saw her remove a small bottle, and maybe it had tobacco or something, and told me to put it here, and my allergies went. That is Karamoja for you. But I fell in love with the place. I saw the Switzerland of Uganda. I saw the black soils. And I saw poor people at the most beautiful heart of Uganda. And I came back very renewed in my soul. And while I was coming back, I was alone in the car, so I think I forgot to put the radiator cover, so the car overheated in the middle of nowhere. So while I was in the wilderness alone, not knowing what to do, I saw a young man grazing goats and some cows. And I asked him with sign language where I could get water. And he took me somewhere down the hill, and we got water and started the car. And it started. I only had left with my one shirt, and because the rest I had given them to the family that had adopted me at the time. So this shirt that I only remained with, I gave it to the young man. It's a very emotional story. I don't know where the young man is, because I never go back to find out where the young man was. So when I came, so I created a very strong bond emotion with Karamoja, but I didn't know how to communicate. There were no phones. There were no border in Kabong. The road were passing in, because it's a farm and land you can easily pass. So along the way, by God's grace, I found Dr. Limlim. And I told him, I'm going to start growing coffee in Karamoja. I didn't know he was from Karamoja. I'm going to start growing coffee in Karamoja in a place called Kabong. He looked at me, and I don't know if he understood what I was saying. He called me the next day to discuss what I told him, and he was able in his heart there and then to approve what I told him. And I can tell you, in the next 3, 4, 5 months, Dr. Limlim was able to release $1 million to go and grow coffee in Karamoja. Today, I do not want you just to clap. We have coffee in the mountains of Moroto. We have coffee in Tim. I don't know if Dr. Limlim had ever told you this. On the money you gave me to go and change the story, I made sure those people in Kabong, sorry, not in the Ik, they are called the Ik. They start learning how to bathe. So I would pay every Ik that would come to go to the garden as they're going back 500 shillings to take a shower, because I had stayed with them and they were not showering. So I was paying 500 shillings every time they come to shower. By the time I left, all the Ik were showering. It was an amazing story. He's a big dreamer, and he believes in innovation and easily understand the power of innovation. Let me go back to what brings us today. I thought I would tell you that story. What brings us today is a story of a common dream, a shared vision, an Africa that we all want to participate and have a better life and have better communities. An Africa, a Uganda, a community that we share and we can have and participate on the global platform because we are and you are. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, This story of a coffee cannot go without mentioning about my mom. My mom, as told you before, being a second coffee generation farmer, meaning my parents, my grandparents, and my forefathers grew coffee. Cutting the story short, most of you know my story because some of you are natives here and know this story starts from here. I go to the United States and got an opportunity to go to White House. Does someone have 1 pack of coffee? Please bring it for me, the 250 grams. Because I was from China, I needed to buy something symbolic to take to White House. So I bought exactly equivalent of what you're seeing. This is 250 grams. And I paid $79. I think nothing happened to my brain at that point. Maybe I was excited that I was going to a White House. By the way, my life has been a life of, I don't know, I first went White House before State House. So, nothing happened to my brain. Maybe I was excited because I was going to White House. When I came back, I asked my host, it's called Frank. He used to stay at the World Bank. How much did we buy coffee? He reminded me that we actually bought it $79. I flew back and asked my mom, who's not able to be here today, Mom, we used to be, me and my mom, we've been very ingenious and very entrepreneurial. So I used to, in P7, my mom bought a small pickup called 1200, Rukumi Nabiri. I don't know if you know those cars. And because I was part of her business, I bought about 30% shares in my mom's shop. Those of you who know, and I think you can testify. But also, on that small car, I contributed 1,250,000. So I also had a share in that car. So even at the young age, my mom had to accept that I needed to drive the car and drive her. So we used to drive in that small car to just go buy coffee from Chutwe, come sell it, and it was like any other business. So I didn't care. You understand what I mean? So when I came back, I asked, Mom, I had of course grown up. How much did we sell our coffee, or how much is it? We had some few plants of coffee. She told me 4,200, which was an equivalent of about maybe $1.8 then, 2013. I said, what? Look. So I want to answer those of you who have been thinking that I'm thinking big. It's just my mom put something in my mind which has made what you've seen. So if it is a spirit or my mom who has a problem on me, please, I apologize on her behalf. But that's how the whole story started, and I started meeting people like Dr. Limnim, General Tema, who took me to his farm of 5,000 acres, and we walked the whole 5,000. He's a good walker. You will not walk, don't be shocked. So I said, since he made me walk, it's a time also to revenge. I hope. You must have felt the hill. Of course, I want to tell you a little bit of my story with the CJ. The people from Tungamo, the CJ means Chief Justice. It is in, you understand? I hope you get it. So, the Lord Chief Justice, like I said, is a farmer. And I met him in one of the most beautiful hills and parts of Uganda, which is Agolo Hills. That by starting from northern Uganda, who do not know anything, I would find green pasture. And I went and convinced them properly, General Tema, and I told them properly, I know how to speak, so you know. I convinced them and told them the colonists came and lied you and said you should only go to the army. That's why you have this crop called cash crop. They only gave you seasonal crops so that you don't get attracted or get the money, but only get attracted to the army because you had the height. And that was the reasoning for the colonists. Can you imagine? The colonists were very evil people. Get one part of the country, because you know you need them for the army, tell them for you can't grow. General Tema, CJ, and the friends agreed with me. This is correct. We started on the journey of coffee in northern Uganda. Unfortunately, COVID came in, but that seed, I'm happy to hear that we have over 10,000 acres of coffee in northern Uganda. This is not to be proud of this, but it's a big, huge milestone. CJ knows very well, I walked to Tuturi Hills 3 times looking for the answer why my mom was getting 4,200. Why me, a farmer, a son of a farmer, I went to school without shoes? Why Muhijirwa, Kanyama, Vilyabarema, my neighbors, my father's generation grew coffee and they still can't be at a life that we all desire as African people to be. I started realizing that a country like America, in a day, they drink 450 millions of cups. And at $2, that's 900 million. Can you imagine? In 2 days, America turns around the total coffee of the whole of Uganda. And then we go priding ourselves. I see people writing in newspapers and everywhere, Uganda has gone to 1 billion. America turns it in 1 day. So I kept searching and searching. I had the president, who is the biggest supporter and of this dream, saying the total value of coffee is 460 billion. Africa, total Africa, gets only 2.6 billion out of the 460 billion. So I couldn't get answers. I kept researching, and I realized that we need to think on the high end of the product. But I also realized that this is not only happening in coffee, it's happening in tin, in lithium, and other raw materials of Africa. Friends, would you know that we have $42 trillion of resources grounded in Africa? If we only utilize it 20%, we'll have a better economy, GDP more than 10 times of the United States of America. What's the issue? What's the problem? I kept wondering, like you and me. And this is the journey of Inspire Africa. This is a journey of Tugume Nelson. It's not completed, but we are on that journey. I want to clap for yourselves with a very big hand clap because you have joined this journey. You and I, and even Dr. Lim, we call it a war. We are at the war. Today we are hosting forces from Rwanda Defense Forces and Uganda and UPDF. And I told them, you finished the war of the bush. We must now go on this economic war. In this journey, friends, I've learned the world economic systems. I've read about of them, a couple of them, and I've realized that everyone will keep irrigating us to keep thinking coffee is a cash crop. All of us studied social studies. What is coffee? Coffee is a cash crop. Ask for a young lady, a young man in Bologna, what coffee is. She'll quickly, coffee is a beverage, coffee is a drink. Coffee is that to them. Our professors, everyone will tell you coffee is a cash crop. We need to make money out of. How? The other day, when you start this, so you start working with engineers, electrical engineers, chemists, food scientists, microbiology. I went to food science in Makerere University. I heard even on television President Museveni asking, can universities start teaching coffee value addition? I even saw the letter. So I knew, I got to Makerere and I knew I was going to find a couple of reference on what I'm going to use. So I go to the Faculty of Food Science. I don't want to tell you my disappointment, but this is what I found. I found on the shelves lots of yogurt. But I told you in my mother's shop, there in Washamire, that small town, we used to do yogurt. My mother is not an educated woman. She, I think, finished at primary 7. But she knew how to make yogurt. Now when you go to the highest of the highest, I found they can only do yogurt. I've come to look for coffee solutions. I said, but we're doing this with my mom who is not educated. How can the whole of this high level, which I respect, only do this which my mother taught me to do when she's not educated? So I realized that the colonial systems, the other system, have even embedded themselves in our education systems, that we African people, we must continue thinking like the way we must think. Our capacity to think must stop here. That rubbish must stop. And I want to end with you and me for a better Africa. Friends, all that is happening, it's not surprise. You know, the Bible says, what was written, it shall happen. Those who believe in the Bible. So all that is seeing happening, the chaos, and some people think I'm a strong man. No, it's God who is taking this vision to the next level where you want to take it. Because I understand that if it wasn't God, this would not be happening. I have shared my struggles and challenges with the CJ and a couple of friends, and I think if it was God, it would be so tough to even see what is happening here. The attacks, we're not surprised. I went into this when I knew and had read that these are going to happen, and even more are going to happen. I just beseech you and ask you, since you're now the born again, one, pray for this vision. Even if you don't pray for Nelson, pray for this vision. Let's sacrifice for the next generation to be the one that upheld Africa to the next level. I've shared with you, a couple of you and my friends, that what motivates me every day to work very hard is not to fail. And why? Because I know there are so many young people behind me. And I don't want to be referenced, even Tugume failed. I've been told how many people have failed on this journey. I've not been told how many people have succeeded. That's the society we live in. And I want us to have a new generation of where people are successful, because, like J.K. said, when you live in a set of successful people, things are different. I happen to have got an opportunity. It's an opportunity for me, because coming from Rashamire, how cannot it be an opportunity? Traveled 79 countries now. And when I travel to these countries, I don't go to supermarkets, and I go to learn in factories, technology. I'm a guy of technology. I go to search and find out why. Friends, Africa, Uganda, we must tighten our belts. If we are sleeping for 24 hours, we must stop sleeping. The rest of the world has moved on. The rest of the world has moved on. The rest of the world has moved on. So friends, I'm not here to lecture because it's a product launch. I'm here to thank you as people who have believed in the dream. People who have believed in the product. And the best I can tell you is that we shall give you the best product. A product that is accepted on any international shelf. That you Ugandans can be able to be proud wherever you go around the world. This is the Making Uganda the Best by STI and the rest of the people. This is how Uganda need to think. Let us not be like, allow me to say this. Everyone says coffee, coffee, coffee. Isn't it? Which coffee are we selling? Which coffee are we marketing? I can tell you most of us have been pushing green bean. Every time you push green bean, you're losing a job. Every time you push green bean, you're losing value. Every time you push green bean, you're denying your mother, your sister, your countrymen to get a better value. And therefore, I beseech you, with this first product, look out for it today. If you want to be in this historical moment, go and buy your first product. Today we are not giving gifts. We are saying, please don't go away not being part of this history. Actually, if I were you, I've seen in some of the visits, some people who come with like the NRM suits, or which was issued like in 1986. You'd buy this coffee and put it in your museum. Maybe 100 years from today, it could be auctioned for $1 million. 5 million, 10 million. 5 years. So please, go as we finish this, go and make sure you buy, and as also a symbol of support that now we've gone to the market and we are starting to drink Ugandan coffee. Allow me, friends, to thank different people. I'll start with even members of parliament who have come today, and others who have come. I've received the likes of Ojara Mapenduzi, a couple of friends who come on your committee. When the leader of opposition, when they reached here, they said what we've heard from the media and the public and what is here are totally opposite and different. And we want you, indeed like you, participated to be our ambassadors, because this dream is not for Nelson. This dream is for Uganda. This dream is for Africa. This dream is for black people like you and me to start believing in ourselves and the African race. I can tell you, if government supported someone not of my color, you not have a problem. But because you and I, we have the same color, you have a problem. So please, let's stop having a problem with me. The rest of the world has moved on. We can believe in ourselves and do these things. So, honorable members of parliament, I'm happy that you can take our message. I want to thank Honorable Babaranda, our mama. Thank you. In this cold of Ntungamo, I know you've been very busy from Fort Portal. You're still with us. We can't take you for granted. I asked her to come and see the Africa Coffee Park so that she can be convinced that we can host the NRM Day on the 26th of January, because Ntungamo had been forgotten. We last had a national event in 1995. Because many of you think because the president comes from here, things must happen here. No, actually he has a responsibility of a national agenda, and therefore anything that comes to Ntungamo, somehow you will see him, you know, because he has a responsibility of the national. So that's why I convinced her and said, why don't you come, Mama, and we host the national event. One, for Ugandans to know what is happening at the Africa Coffee Park. Because this is for Ugandans, it's for Africans. Those of you who has been Ntungamoraized this, please get born again. And that's why I want you to be telling people that you're not in Tungamo. Today, tell people that you're not in Tungamo. Tell people that you are the Africa Coffee Park. Then they will ask you, where's the Africa Coffee Park? You can tell them, I think it's in somewhere in Tungamo, Western Uganda. Tungamo, Western Uganda is not a point. In any case, a Mzungu friend who wants to come here, will be hard for them to say Ruashamire. But the Africa Coffee Park, they will understand it. But number two, when they hear Africa Coffee Park, they'll have an idea, I want to get there. When they get here, you know what happens? Friends, you know what happens? He'll come with money, he'll spend it here in Uganda, at the airport, in Rukaya, in Ikisoro, in Kidepo, and that's how we need to think. So, Mama Baranda, we cannot take you for granted. We cannot. And I would like you to take not only our greetings, but our big thank you to the President. That what he has been hoping for is happening. The fact that we've gone to the market, this is happening. And his dream will be achieved. And to urge you, to all Ugandans and the people around the Africa Coffee Park to support President Museveni. If you can support him with 90%, because Kwijana, I at times listen to that old man. He recently were at a trip in Cairo and said something that amazed and challenged my mind. He said, the whole of Nile is navigable. And I said, you know, I've ever rafted for 52 kilometers on the Nile, on those rapid. So I know the Nile for 50, I've ever rafted there. So I know it. So I said, this old man saying we can navigate the Nile from Alexandria to Uganda, it's still in my mind, it's stuck. Because, Kazola told you, my first business was sell cars. I lost a lot of money on that port of Mombasa. Many Ugandans are losing a lot of money in Mombasa. How about now we can have our own navigation from Alexandria to Uganda? From Alexandria to Europe, it's about 3 days. Guys, you have a president who thinks, you think I think big. The other guy thinks this big. They are telling me that is the thinking of Ntungamo. So as I end, I'd like also to thank Honorable Minister for Energy, my sister, Honorable Ruth Nakabirwa, for also being with us. Friends, isn't this historic? To have ministers, the CJ, generals, honorables of parliament on the fireplace. Isn't this historic? The spirits of Africa are rising from here in Tungamo. The spirits of economic transformation are here, are the ones who have kept you to make sure Africa is rising. Bebe Cool, where are you? Is Bebe Cool still here? Somewhere. Bebe Cool, wherever you are, I would like to thank you and your team to come and believe in this. Bebe Cool is here? Come. As he comes, I continue to thank my partners. Equity Bank, I saw you here. I have other banks. Please stand up for recognition. Equity Bank has been a very, very, very good partner in this dream. Uganda Bati, Steel and Tube, Tororo Cement, all URA, where are you? URA, thank you so much. Dr. Kaka is my good friend. They have been, helping us and doing things we really, really, really appreciate. Our STI, where is Dr. Joshua and Peter and the team? Where are you? Thank you. Please come. These partners are bold partners. If you have fake and shaky partners, on this dream they will fall off. Because we've seen some of them fall off. Thank you, STI, for being real partners in this bold vision to change our country and change our continent. My team at Inspire Africa, led by my wife. Are you there? I know you're very busy, but please wave to us. My wife has been my greatest pillar on this vision. We've had sleepless nights. I've been lost on her for months. She doesn't know where I am. I take breaks she cannot understand. And therefore, she has stood by me and said, I'm going to support you. Atukunda, thank you so much. And the great team at Inspire Africa, Duncan, Roland, and all these guys that have young people. GM, who is here? Niraj. I know maybe they are very busy there trying to make sure we be well. But this dream is not a dream of one person. It's a dream of so many people. You, and you. And I know each and every one of you, you know how many words or how much you have supported this dream. So this is not a dream of Nelson. It's your dream. And we pray it will be where we want it to be. I want to quickly give a few minutes to my brother, Bebe Cool, to say hello because he has believed in this dream. And you can see, no, you can keep on your unstoppable.
All protocol observed. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, Nelson, for this opportunity to say a word or two. I, first of all, want to thank God who has enabled us to be alive and to be able to realize what we see today. Secondly, I want to thank you, Nelson, for having been brave enough to convince hard heads like me to be part of such a dream. I want to thank the President of Uganda, the President Museveni, for having believed in Nelson, because that was something so impossible to believe. I want to thank the Parliament of Uganda that also came up to finally agree to support a dream. And I want to also thank the team that has been working with Nelson. Without you guys, people like us would not have agreed. Now, you may wonder why Bebe Cool. Most people, when they see Bebe Cool, they think music. I've been working aside government because when I became close to the president, in my country, the politics brought too much feelings and people like I lost a lot of funds because of my lineage to the NRM government. So I had to find a way to convince the people of Uganda that I made a decision to support the NRM because I knew they have a good vision. So as an artist, I want to stand by projects. I want to stand by situations, programs that can stand for the people of Uganda, that can change lives for the people of Uganda. So God has given me a platform to be famous. God has given me a platform to be heard by the young people. So I want to send the right message to them. And this is what I can send to them. Use my platform, teach them coffee. Use my platform, teach them health. Use my platform as a celebrity to teach them working with government programs. So don't be surprised when you see me in more of such programs, because that's the only way our young people in Uganda will get to know the importance of coffee, the importance of sports, the importance of not engaging 90–100% of their time in politics, but rather productive activities. So I want to thank you all. Chief Justice, it's my first time to be on an event with you. I know you also could have been scared of people like me. But trust me, again, to the credit of the President who brought us closer, because the world had a different picture of people like us. But we are very productive and focused. And definitely I want to thank my mom over there, the Minister of Energy. I call her my mom because she has also mentored me. And of course, Honorable Minister for Presidency. We have been working together for quite some time in the same party. So I want to thank everybody who's been here today, and we are still here for the next 20 to 150 years to see this dream come true. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Bebe Cool. And so we've friends and comrades in the struggle, in this war. that they have said, we are going to see this come alive. And I know you have the power, you and you and you, to make sure this comes alive. I want to end by thanking all of you, my cousins, my family, my friends, my hobbies, my board. Oh, how could I have not thanked security? Friends, you're here. If there is even one thing, before I thank you, you can only thank President Museveni. If you even don't want to thank him for anything, it's for security and peace. The General Otema and the friends that they fought for. Don't even thank him of anything. Just only that. Why am I saying that? If you have gone to Sudan, Somalia, and see the situation, then you will know what I'm talking about. So if it's only one thing that we want to thank President Museveni and the NRM, is that. But I also want to send a signal and special thanks to our president and through our ministers, because I know you attend cabinet meetings, to have a power of dreaming big, but a power of supporting. He has a certain, can I call it, muchwezi way of understanding that, let me believe in this dream. Because by the time the president came to believe in me, I don't think he knew me. He even didn't understand me. But something connected and said, something can get out of here. Someone to have that kind of intuition, ingenuity. Please take our special thanks from the people of Ntungamo at the Africa Coffee Park. But also, I realized that I had not thanked our security. They have done a great job, not today, from when this project started. So I want to thank you, Esau. I don't know if Afande Kafureka is here, and the team for really being with us from the word go until today. These friends have been with us at every milestone, and they have done a great job. So with these too many words, please, Kachina, stand up. Kachina is our biggest comedian in the region. Kachina Media. You need to know him, friends. Kachina, go and tell people in Barara and all over the world, start drinking Inspire Africa coffee. Go and sit. Oh, Kachina wants to explain. I was going to invite the minister. Looks Kachina wants to.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nelson Tugume, our Chief Justice, who is the guest of honor. We are humbled to have you in Ntungamo. Ladies and gentlemen, our ministers, my name is Valentine Muhereza Kachina, the first person who was the best in physics in 2005 in Uganda, using my name Valentine. Valentine in English is V-A-L-E-N-T-I-N-E, but that simply means in physics, velocity, acceleration, length, effort, Newton, time, initial velocity, Newton's law of motion, and efficiency. We have the Minister of Energy. I was the first person to know why electricity was called electricity. It was because of three reasons. Amasanyalazi gava mu nyanja, which is called a lake, gatambulira ku muti, which is called a tree, and gasokera mu town, which is a state. So when you get a lake, a tree, a state, you get electricity. Ladies and gentlemen, I found I was talented with comedy, but I found in Uganda we had many comedians that are using talent for abusing tribes, for using vulgarity. So I said I would change mine. I had finished senior 4 in 2005, but I went in senior 5 in 2017 after 12 years. I finished A level I did a bachelor's degree in journalism and mass communication at BSU. Now I'm doing my master's degree in diplomacy and global studies at Victoria University. So that is helping me to market such products that people who come on my channels to laugh can also get something productive. 2023, I presented Uganda in UNAIDS. We went 15 countries in Dar es Salaam to end HIV, and we are pushing, even in the Ministry of Health under National TB and Leprosy Program and Uganda Stop TB Partnership. I volunteer there as an ambassador to end TB and leprosy. Even in Western, I've been chosen by Minister of Health in campaign of ending malaria. So here now I join this campaign with Dr. Nelson also to add my voice in marketing our coffee worldwide, but starting with Western region where I can convince them in the language I understand better. In a minute, this is called omweso. It is known in Uganda and in Ankole. Coffee was used to unite people in Ankole. How? They used to do what we call blood pact. Okushara nahanda bakateka yomjirachi omwani. That was a unifying factor. Not so? The master's course I studied, diplomacy and global studies, why I chose it, most of it is to bring peace. So I can even do what we call ADR, or alternative dispute resolution, China, using humor. You saw me with Deputy Speaker eating goat's meat. Some other people thought it was pig. Why was it? Because I used Deputy Speaker with NRM, but with other new people, with me, a local person, a comedian, to unite people. Now, we can unite people by taking our coffee when we are playing this game, Omchi, Omweso. It can be a good sign to promote our coffee. So it is a lot, but I was happy when I was chosen also to be among the brand ambassadors of this initiative, so that we can push this one together. As he said, it is not his dream, it is our dream. And I will also thank the President of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for bringing us peace so that our innovation can be productive. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. So, our Chief Justice, nice meeting you. I can do a lot of things in this world. I swear, I am the first person in Uganda who is best in selling things in church, like in fundraising. For you, did you know that ipapari, a power, is the only fruit that prays to religions? Or religions, yes, it is called ipapari. Yet Papa is a Catholic, yet Ari is a Muslim. Papa and Ari, papari. So, when you are buying ipapari, it can be too. So I'm using all the experience, the talent I have. We are going to drink, by the way, we are going to wash coffee because it has soap. We are going to smear coffee because it has jelly. We are going to use perfume from coffee. Then we are going to drink coffee and also eat coffee because it has these biscuits made out of coffee. Are we not proud of having Dr. Nelson here? Doctor, the last request I ask you, if there is me, I still need to be exposed more if I'm to perform to my country. So there is still some marrow. When I went to Dar es Salaam, I took like 100 photos in a plane. So for you have visited 76 countries. Next time you are going to another country, either you live and sacrifice, I go there even if I perform bad, or you go with me. As you promote me and I reduce on this anxiety of Amaro, I will promote coffee and other government programs worldwide. Now lastly, our Chief Justice and Minister of Energy, I will ask that before we leave here, we sit with like 3 people while I'm praying with them or any other person praying with them as we enjoy our what? our coffee. Because, ladies and gentlemen, people don't want direct adverts. By the way, we are live on Tayari West. People no longer want to listen to direct adverts. When I went there, I told even World Health Organization and they changed it. When they say, let's go in a commercial break, you will see people getting remote to change what? Stations. But when you use humor, you use drama, you shorten the message, you dramatize it, all people will get the information. And this is what has been lacking. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, use drama, shorten, but the person using drama should have been trained. Because other people use a lot of a lot of negativity, thinking that they are promoting. We fight AIDS, but you find someone using communication that is instead stigmatizing people. So we need to see how we can dramatize so that people can drink coffee, even they get drunk. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me stop here, but I can make fun out of everything, and in a positive way, supported by. Let's go and vote President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, because he has brought peace that even someone who had lost chance. By the way, I went back to school after government introduced UPE in 1997, after I had lost some 7 years from P3 to P3 after 7 years. If it was not introduction of UPE, I wouldn't have gotten a chance to go back in primary. That helped me to go in secondary, and now soon I'm finishing my master's degree in diplomacy and global studies. Valentine Heza, aka Kachina. Thank you. Nagamburu na sase sirino. So this one, I request
Thank you, Mr. Kachina. I think it was a good ad break. I quickly want to, because time I can see, and we really want to listen to our guests, the Chief Justice, our two ministers who are with us tonight. I would like to understand, in her capacity as a Minister of Presidency, she has also been redesigned or re-engineered to speak in two parts. As also a minister of STI, because Honorable Dr. Msenero was not here. Since now she's representing the two ministers, you allow me to invite my sister first, who is Honorable Nakabrwa Ruth, because she was given some tough instructions where I was, and she was said, India Mike. She comes and tells us what that means, and she will invite for us the Honorable Minister of Presidency in her capacity. I had invited her in her capacity, but also another minister talked her to give her speech, and then the Honorable Babaranda would invite the Chief Justice, and we end the function. Honorable Minister, my sister, come and speak to us.
But now,
they should have given maybe when she's going home.
My Lord, the Chief Justice, and my sister, the Minister, brothers who are here, members of Parliament, the local leadership of Ntungamo, and all of you, people of God, good evening to you. For me, I came prepared to spend a night kuchiganiro. I am okay. I was warned, and I came prepared, and I'm enjoying. It's very rare for me to sit comfortably throughout the evening without thinking about going back home. But I want to thank our host who prepared us, prepared me at least, to come and spend a night. So thank you so much, and I want to add my voice to congratulate you. I had prepared a written communication because this is a big day. We are celebrating World Coffee Day in Uganda, in Western Uganda, in Ntungamo, in Reshamile, at the African Coffee Park. It is a big day, and we've just witnessed the launch of the new products from here. It is indeed a big day, and I'm so honored to be here today to witness this launch and to be part of the story. And I know that I'm a critical and strategic partner because of the criticality of supply of reliable and affordable electricity. I am standing here very happy that this has happened after the launch of the campaigns of our President, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who is our presidential candidate, which took place yesterday in Luwero district at Bukalasa, where we are growing coffee, a lot of coffee. And that launch came after a launch of our manifesto. That was on Monday. On Tuesday, we were in Luwero. On Wednesday, we are here. So what a very good coincidence that we are here. I am so excited to see the Chief Justice, who is here as the Chief Justice, but also as a farmer, an interested farmer into coffee, a practitioner. And when we were going through the tour, which started this morning, he was the most active student. Some of us were like, time is, we thought that from there we were going to come here and begin the function. Later we were tipped that after the tour, we are going to have lunch. We were not going to come here and sit and listen to speeches. So we were energized more, and we relaxed, and we did the tour, which ended at the beach. And therefore I want to talk about the beach. What I saw, amazing, congratulations. I felt like spending a night there. What a sight on that river, which had a story, which you told us. And from the tour here, you told us that how the Bazungu do their thing is to create a story for everything. And it is that story that brings you money. They will create a story out of almost everything. A big stone, a flat land, a hill, you know, the story. So the story at the beach is a very good story. Thank you for that lunch too. Even the lunch told a story. The lunch was very delicious. And I want to thank the First Lady of African Coffee Park, Mrs. Tugume, and your team. Thank you so much for the hospitality. Thank you so much for being in that thing to really support your better half. I saw the interest in you, and I'm like, it can't fail. With a powerful woman, besides that man, it's going to be wonders. I will not bore you talking about the importance of coffee, where we are now, exporting about 6.1 million 60-kilogram bags of coffee. We know where we are coming from, but the story is very promising. Very, very promising for our coffee. I will not talk much about the need for reliable power. That is obvious. You cannot talk about agribusiness, value addition, mineral development, science and technology without talking about the need for huge investment in power generation, because you can't supply what you don't have. In 1986, we had only 150 megawatts. In 1986, megawatts 15. And we were not consuming all of it. No, because there was no infrastructure to pull this power to you people. Every home had a kind of source of light. Steamer, tala yomukono, tadoba. And there were very few homes where electricity was an issue. Like today, where electricity is an issue. People have lost primary elections because of electricity, because of lack of electricity in their constituencies, which they had promised people during campaigns. Those days, we were used. We were used to feeding under moonlight. We were used. But these days, electricity is becoming political. But electricity is the engine for industrialization. So what President Museveni has done, first is to put money in power generation so that we have what to give you. And as I speak now, our generation capacity is 2,058.4 megawatts from a mere 150. We have plants like Karuma, whose capacity is 600 megawatts, although we are not using all of it. And because it is late, I will not go into that detail. But my message here is that this government, under the leadership of President Museveni, has invested in power generation. And our generation mix is comprised of renewable energy, hydropower and solar, basically. And you have to brag about it, because the world is yearning for this renewable energy. Uganda has renewable energy on its national grid. We have only a few megawatts from HFO. This is Namamve, 50 megawatts, and that plant is only on standby as security. If something happens on Karuma, we call for generation from Namamve. So our coffee, Inspire Africa coffee, is green. Right from production, processing, it's green. And the people who take it in Uganda are organic. We are organic. And you know what it means. Free of contamination. So after this generated power, we had now to plan for the critical transmission infrastructure. When we stand here, we talk about Mirama Hills substation. A substation is very critical. It receives power, stabilizes it for onward transmission to other users. So what we are going to do at Mirama, we are going to inject a transformer that is going to be dedicated to this plant. Then this power, having made it reliable, we have to make sure that it is affordable. I think from what I've seen, I will recommend that this plant is categorized under extra large industrial park so that it can enjoy the 5 US cents per kilowatt hour so that we make power affordable. This is our plant. This is our story. We have to help de-risk this project so that it can attract many more people those who like to buy shares and all, have to know that government has an interest. We have put money and we are going to put more money. The good thing is that the president's heart is here. This is for sure. I have seen Mr. Tugume in Chankwan's, for example, when you were there as a caucus, demonstrating, walking, talking to virtually every MP. You are a very good salesperson. You don't get discouraged. Even where you are glaringly misunderstood, even where you are glaringly underlooked, you are not concerned. Keep it up. You have never showed a disappointed face on your face. You serve with a smile, and a smile is a very powerful tool. So please continue. Everybody will be brought on board. I want to congratulate my colleagues, the members of parliament, who have given very touching testimonies here. Honorable Akol. A Saulo, now a Paul, is going to preach the gospel than those people who had received salvation before Honorable Akol. You're going to be a good preacher, like Paul did when you read the Bible. Thank you so much for having realized that this is the way to go and that we have to line behind this effort. So I can stand here and know that power will not only stop here. We have to make sure that the mining sites that we have, the Mwerasandu, to support the tin mining and other minerals, will need power. And it is my ministry which is in charge of both energy and mineral development. So I cannot forget myself and give other people. So that means we'll have to power the mining site, because already the law does not allow exportation of unprocessed minerals. We have to add value. And by adding value, we have to have reliable and affordable electricity. My colleagues from the neighborhood, Honorable from Chisoro, the Kabale substation, I want to assume that it helped in power supply on that side. But that's not enough. We have to inject in more transformers, because every year we get people who connect power. But if you don't check on the transformers, then you will not have reliable power. Every evening when many people are at home and there is a lot of activity that use electricity, power blinks. That means the transformers are being overloaded. Most of the substations that we have in Uganda, some of them are bigger than you people, are older than you people. If you can close your eyes and try to figure out when these transformers were installed, they are very old. They are operating above capacity. And this is dangerous. So what Uganda Electricity Distribution Company is doing after taking over from Umeme is to make sure that we rehabilitate the network. And in rehabilitating the network, we inconvenience you, because we switch you off, rehabilitate, switch on, switch these ones off. We are in that transition period of consequential inconvenience, which I would like to beg that Ugandans give us chance as Uganda Electricity Distribution Company to rehabilitate the network, the rotten poles, the overloaded substations, and overloaded transformers. With the support from Cabinet, from Parliament, I am sure that time will come when we are enjoying reliable and affordable electricity. I've not read my speech, but I've summarized it that way by assuring you that Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development is at one with the African Coffee Industrial Park. We are at one. Yeah. Kajain, were you acting or you said the truth? When you said you were studying, it's difficult to know whether now you were acting or you were telling the real story.
I'm a student at Victoria University. I'm there also brand ambassador, but I'm a student going in my second year doing diplomacy, masters in diplomacy and global studies.
Okay. I was there seated and I didn't know whether you were acting.
But
or you were now
acting, if you want stories of acting, I can also lie for 1 hour.
No, we will enjoy that later. This kind of arrangement where we sit, turiaha, turikuganira, not really in a hurry, I think must be encouraged. The sitting arrangement nailed it. The person who was behind this sitting arrangement, you did it for me. It is cordial, it is good. Thank you so much. Feel at coffee, enjoy the coffee, and congratulations to you all. May I now take this opportunity to invite my colleague, Honorable Mire Babalanda, Minister in charge of presidency, to come and address us. Thank you so much. May God bless you all.
Thank you, my sister. Your Lordship, the Chief Justice of Uganda, Lord Owinyi Dolo Chegamoy, my sister, the Honorable Ruth Nankabirwa, the Minister of Energy and Mineral Development, Honorable Members of Parliament, our son Nelson Tugume, my brother Jeno Tema, the Board Chair, the RDC Ntungamo, the Deputy and Assistant RDC, the LC5 Chairperson, and all leaders at local level, religious leader, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. My name is Babirie Mire Babalanda. By the grace of God, I'm the minister in charge of presidency. The Lord is good, and all the time. Permit me bring you greetings from His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, National Chairperson of the mighty Party NRM, Commander-in-Chief of the Uganda People's Defense Forces, and our Presidential Flag Bearer 2026-2031, General Mzee Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Mama, the First Lady and Mother of the Nation, and Minister of Energy and Minister of Education and Sports, Mama Janet Kataha Museveni. Not forgetting the Secretary Office of the President, Haji Yunus Kakande. I'm here putting on 2 pairs of shoes. One is mine as Minister in charge of presidency, and another one is for my sister, Honorable Dr. Monica Msenero, who is not with us here. She's out of the country to check on her husband, who is not well. This speech is for her, and I request you to permit me present it to you, dear guests. As you know, Uganda, as the birthplace of Robusta coffee, holds a sacred place in the global coffee story. It is therefore not by accident that coffee remains our largest agricultural export, contributing not only to our economy, but also to the identity of our nation. Yet as we celebrate, we must also reflect. Are we harnessing the full potential of this golden bean? The truth is, for far too long, we have exported raw beans and imported back value. A kilo of green bean exported at $4 returns a $40 value internationally. This value leakage is unacceptable. This is the challenge we must overcome. It is for this reason that the government of Uganda partnered with the Inspire Africa group to establish this magnificent Africa Coffee Park. 3 years ago, most of what we witness today was only a dream. But today, we can now taste the products ready for the market, i.e. drip coffee, ground coffee, roasted coffee beans, and coffee capsules. Through this initiative and others, we have begun to reverse this negative narrative. I thank His Excellency for being the main champion of the vision of transforming our nation through innovation, which has created an enabling environment that prioritizes science, technology, and innovation as a critical pillar in our nation's development agenda. Particularly, I thank him for championing value addition to coffee. I also thank Mr. Nelson Tugume for being an innovation champion. I know the journey has not been easy. It is never is. But we are now witnessing the fruits. I also thank all the partners of the Africa Coffee Park, without whose effort we would not have gotten to this point. As the Science, Technology and Innovation Secretariat, we are committed to ensuring that Uganda moves from exporting raw beans to exporting knowledge, products, and brands. The future we see is one where, made in Uganda, coffee is sipped in every corner of the globe and creates prosperity downstream for our farmers and our entire economy. I call upon the public to drink our value-added coffee. Let us market our products. Let us market our nation and the entire world. Please buy our value-added coffee. You will taste the difference that our Ugandan innovation brings. Thank you. Happy International Coffee Day. That has been her speech for today's function. My note is very short. Already the protocol has been observed. It gives me great honor to join you today as we celebrate International Coffee Day. This day is not just about a cup of coffee, but about livelihoods, innovation, trade, and the future of Uganda's economy. Uganda's coffee story is one of resilience, transformation, and promise, from the smallholder farmer tending a few acres in the hills of Bugisu, the plains of Uganda, or the gentle slopes of Ankole. To the barista serving premium blends in Dubai or London, coffee connects Uganda to the world. As our #1 export earner, coffee brings in over $1 billion annually and employs more than 5 million Ugandans directly and indirectly. Last year alone, Uganda exported 8.1 million 60 bags, like what my sister has mentioned, cementing our place as Africa's top Robusta producer and the 8th largest coffee exporter globally. This success is not by accident. It is the result of deliberate policy choices under the able leadership of our dear visionary leader, His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Through his wisdom, he has consistently championed the coffee as a strategic commodity in our national development agenda. Under the National Development Plan 4 and the Vision 2040 framework, coffee is positioned as a catalyst for agro-industrialization, job creation, and export diversification, the central pillars in our next phase of socio-economic transformation. It is within this context that I wish to salute Inspire Africa Group for contributing immensely to our global coffee story. Companies like Inspire Africa do more than just roast and sell. They add value, build brands, open markets, and tell Uganda's story to the world. Through their investments in quality control, farmer partnerships, global distribution, and local branding, they are redefining what made in Uganda means on the international stage. And this is precisely the direction we must go in the next 15 years, from exporting raw beans to exporting world-class brands, from subsistence growing to industrial scale agro-processing, and from income to wealth. Your Lordship and distinguished guests, today's launch of some of Inspire Africa Coffee's great brands onto the local and global markets should be a reminder that the opportunities for Uganda's coffee are enormous. Therefore, let us commit to supporting our farmers, promoting value addition, empowering local enterprises, and building strategic partnerships that will make Uganda a global powerhouse in coffee. With companies like Inspire Africa leading the charge, I have no doubt that the next cup of coffee on the world's best tables will proudly bear the mark, grown, processed, and brewed in Uganda. I thank you, and I wish you all a fruit International Coffee Day celebrations. Thank you for your kind attention for God and my country. It's now my singular honor and privilege to invite His Lordship to come and address us. I thank you.
We can sit down. Who operates this, please come and lift it up. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, good. Yeah. My two sisters, honorable ministers, our members of parliament who are here today, the chair of
Ntungamo local government and your colleagues, various leaders who are here, the chair of Inspire Africa, the chief executive, the entire team of Inspire Africa, ladies and gentlemen, I think we need clarification from the very beginning. I doubt that Nelson would have invited me if it was simply because I'm Chief Justice. Because my judicial work has nothing to do with coffee. But in this sense, it is also unfortunate that I cannot leave behind the title of Chief Justice, so very much to my annoyance, you keep on saying Chief Justice, Chief Justice. Could call me by name. I am here today, and I think this is the longest function I've had to officiate in that I can remember. Because, as you said rightly, I have a passion for coffee. But before I go into this, let me congratulate the coffee growers and everybody in the value chain for coffee for the World Coffee Day we're celebrating here. In this regard, I congratulate the people of Ntungamo for hosting this day. I also congratulate Inspire Africa for making a difference in the coffee enterprise. Evidence that you've succeeded is in detaining me up to now, since midday. For those who do not know, I come from an area of Uganda that produces the best Arabica coffee. The Agoro Lututuru Plateau in the extreme north of Uganda produces the best Arabica coffee. In the 70s and early 80s, when there were competitions in agricultural shows, the same Lututuru Plateau also produced the largest, the hugest cabbages, tomato, and other products. And it is the same plateau that brought us together with Nelson Tugume. I didn't know him before. It is coffee that brought us together. When we speak about coffee in Uganda, and I speak on this with authority since I picked interest in coffee. honorable ministers, honorable members of parliament, you have an opportunity to expedite Uganda's achievement of middle-income economy if we all embrace coffee growing. As simple as that. If I were still in elective politics, which I left many years ago, if I was still a lawmaker or in government as a member of the executive, I would make coffee growing compulsory in this country. If I headed, and this I have told my community in the Cholis sub-region, if I was in charge of the district government in this country, I would ensure we come up with bylaws for compulsory coffee growing. There is no easier way to transform our people's lives than embracing coffee growing. Listen to this. When the colonialists came, I remember it was Governor Hesketh Bell who introduced cotton for the colonial economy. I don't know if you grew cotton in Ankole. I've never read about cotton in Ankole. But I know cotton was the mainstay cash crop in Buganda, Busoga, Eastern Uganda, Bunyoro, Northern. But when Buganda stumbled on coffee, you don't see a single coffee plant in Buganda. I've been in Buganda since 1974. I've not seen a single cotton plant in Buganda. And yet, at least up to 1952, Bukalasa was still producing seeds for cotton. The cotton I grew up planting early 60s was BP 52, Bukalasa product 1952. It was tried in Bukalasa but planted elsewhere. Why did Buganda leave cotton? It is at today's market rate, an acre of cotton, an acre, by the way, is 100 meters, this one which Bolt and these people run 100 meters long and 40 meters wide, you get an acre, 4,000 square meters. You plant 4,000 square meters, an acre, and at the end of your 3-4 months, because cotton is a seasonal crop, you get 500,000 shillings. 500, then 3 zeros. That is what you earn from an acre of cotton. As a matter of fact, if you get 700,000, everybody will know about you in the entire sub-region that you got so much money. 700,000. How about coffee? When you grow coffee, a quarter acre is half of a half of half acre. In a bad season, you get 2 million shillings. 2 million shillings in a bad season. And this is something you are going to harvest. You harvest, the Lord calls you, your children harvest, and your grandchildren also harvest before they plant new crops. But cotton you are planting every year. So when Nelson was speaking about what the colonialists did to the people of northern Uganda, you were spot on. What you forgot to tell us was that from independence, Milton Obote was the first executive prime minister, the one with real authority. Kabaka Mutesa played an honorary role, was like pomp. The one with real governmental power was Milton Obote, 1962 to 1971 January. We continued planting cotton. Idi Amin came to power, we continued planting cotton. Milton Obote, there were a few people in between, but Milton Obote came back 1980 to 1985. We continued planting cotton. In northern Uganda, in eastern Uganda, the colonial economy continued. I stopped blaming the colonialists and now embarked on blaming ourselves for not correcting the wrongs left behind by the colonialists. There's absolutely no reason why we should allow our people to wallow in poverty by growing cotton year in, year out to get 500,000 shillings. When we have the choicest land, we have the best land, agricultural land, in northern Uganda. Actually, sub-region is bigger than Rwanda, the country, in size. Rwanda is 26 square kilometers, 1,000 square kilometers. Actually, sub-region is 28. A study has been carried out using satellite. I'll share this with you. Within the next 50 years, Uganda is going to be a major coffee player, global coffee player. Uganda will be known the way Vietnam is now known. Not because of Ntungamo, not because of Buganda, not because of Bugisu, but because of northern Uganda, because the home of coffee is going to be northern Uganda. So when you invited me here, I came for two reasons. One, I had promised you as a friend that I would come. Two, because it had something to do with coffee, something I am so passionate about, something I believe from the bottom of my heart will change the life of our people, will transform northern Uganda. from the colonial economy to an economy which achieves the middle income status. Today, because of the war, we lived with war for 20 years. There's no part of Uganda that suffered. 20 years in war. And because of that, our people lost everything. But we are not going to be crying over spilt milk all the time. We will always remember the devastation of war. That we cannot write away. But we also have the determination to erase the socio-economic ramification of war, the physical evidence of the war, by embarking on meaningful, profitable, beneficial socio-economic activities. Household income. And in the front line is coffee. In the front line are other perennial crops, macadamia, which General talked about, cocoa. I don't even now know which pronunciation is right. When we were in primary, we were always rebuked for calling it cocoa. We were taught to call it cocoa. Now, in old age, we are going back to cocoa. I now do not know which one is right. So when I came here, I thought I was honoring a friend. I was not prepared, not in the least. I was not prepared for what I went through today. I was not prepared at all. Nothing could have prepared me for this. I had heard of what you're doing. I thought, honestly, it was one of those things. Had you not been my friend, had you not been that I have sworn, I have vowed that when I retire in about 3.5 months from now, I'll spend the rest of my life promoting coffee and other perennial crop in my area in northern Uganda, I would not be here. Now I know the folly of not coming here if I had not come. Let me go back to coffee. During colonial time, the coffee grown in Africa, grown in Southeast Asia, they were taken to United Kingdom, Lancashire, Stockport. That's where they were made. No mention of the origin of the coffee. You will not even know that it was our coffee. It was Britain producing the textiles. We got independence. There was the spinning mill, the one that was constructed in Lira. If you knew how such a big deal it was, we prided ourselves that now we can spin cotton. We now can make those threads, which is then taken outside the country and they make fabric out of it. The whole of Uganda. If I equate with what you're doing here, spinning mill is like like removing the husk. How do you call it? What is that process? Hulling. Spinning mill is like hulling coffee, and it was such a huge national achievement. Removing, yes, that's what spinning mill is all about. Spinning mill is all about. After ginning, then you spin it into thread. Then you all know of Nyanza Textiles Industry Limited. My sister knows it is in Ginger. It is more notorious by its acronym, NITIL, Nyanza Textiles Industries Limited. It was a token thing. No impact in the world market. Our spinning mill, no impact in the world market. But when I came here today, I listened to the statistics. You need to write it down for me so that when I speak about it, I speak with figures. Honorable Akol and your colleagues, when you approved of that money, which you had hesitated, and if I was you, I would have hesitated myself. That was one of the greatest things that the executive and parliament has done in this country. Because it is not money thrown away. This money you are getting back from these people. Because everything that they produce is going to be taxed, whether it is sold here in Uganda or outside, it's going to be taxed on top of the other recovery. And indeed, we need to promote our homegrown investors. I don't call them local because it minimizes their status, our homegrown. We need to promote them. We need to come up with policies that favors them. The great agricultural countries of the world, United States, Canada, even India, Brazil, for coffee, sugar, and other things, they are able to become and sustain being great agricultural economies because of state subsidy. State subsidy. We need state subsidy. We need some form of agricultural bank, by whatever name you call it. We need, honorable ministers, we need to revive, to restore stabilization funds for agricultural produce. When we were growing up, there was coffee marketing board, there was lint marketing board, there was a produce marketing board. Produce for grains, lint for cotton, and then coffee marketing board for coffee. It spoke for itself. It ensured that the prices of these things did not come below a certain figure. Even if the world market was so bad, the state cushioned so that the farmers did not suffer the collapse of the world market, because the state would know, the government would know, at some later date, there was always peak prices the world over, and would recover whatever it did to cushion the farmers. We need to think about this. We need to discuss this so that people go into growing coffee knowing from an acre, I will never come down below 8 million. I'm just using a figure. Because the state says if the world market comes down to 6, 5, we will still ensure that you are paid 8 million per acre. Because you know at some state, the prices can go to 10, can go to 12, can go to 9, and you recover what you paid out of stabilization fund. We, in the northern part of Uganda, beginning with the Acholi sub-region, we have undertaken a serious promotion of coffee growing. And that's why I'm telling you, in the next few years, this country will be known for coffee because of northern Uganda. That stretches from Karamoja to West Nile, sloping down to Bukedi, coming down to Busoga. Because even if each household in this country plants 50 coffee trees, the world market will still be gaping, wanting more. We will never satisfy the world market. It's huge. Among the edible commodities, coffee is number one. When you put all other commodities together, that is when coffee is number two, after oil, as he rightly said. It's a simple thing. If our policymakers, if our parliamentarians, you come up with compulsory coffee farming and make the money available for the promotion of coffee. Coffee takes 3 years, I think. Now, 3 years you begin harvesting. For those of you who are still in the factory of producing children, or who intend to begin produce children, you can now plant 50 coffee trees per child, minimum. And by the time they're ready for university education, you're able to educate them anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. I'm not aware of any economic activity that can make you, a peasant farmer, educate your children anywhere in the world, except if you embrace things like coffee, like cocoa. We can do it. We all need to have, I don't know, Nelson, I don't know whether yours is a dream. I should like to think it is a vision. I think visions are stronger than dreams. At some point, a dream is converted into a vision. I think you're at the stage of a vision now. You dreamt for a while, you have a vision. And what we have seen here is the mission to achieve that vision. Yours is no longer your vision, no longer your mission. It is now a national vision, it's a national mission, what you're doing here. and it is what can be replicated elsewhere in the country. When we were having this discussion as we moved around, you remember I said, look, because of this, we met generals from Rwanda. Instead of having our roads destroyed by heavy trucks, you can pull down the SGR to Rwanda. And you don't have to bring it now from Kampala using new routes. You already have in Kasese here or in Kamwenge, and you're just pulling it this way. Because the railway line is already up to Kasese. So you're just pulling it this way, a tee off, say Kamwenge, Ibanda, and you're in Barara, and you're proceeding to Rwanda. And you change this area. Transportation of bulk commodity. So I'm glad you invited me to come. I'm glad the Lord said, you go, your friend has invited you. You didn't invite the Chief Justice of Uganda. You invited someone whom you met and did not carry a wig when you met him. You are in the trenches, agricultural trenches in northern Uganda. That's where we met, and that's why I'm here today. And we will continue with that endeavor. As the General told you, money has been put aside, 60 billion to promote coffee in northern Uganda. I've discussed with various players. There are people who believed, I can tell you this story. Oh, let's get seedlings. Poor in northern Uganda. I said, stop. People in northern Uganda do not know coffee. They do not know coffee. And the bulk of our agricultural activity, the planting of cotton, simsim, nuts, soya, sorghum, millet. You know, you can use your big toe, just your big toe, this one you've covered with your shoe, to dig the ground for any of those things. You dig the ground, the earth with your toe, and you plant, and you cover, and you harvest. What is going to deter you is with your toe you cannot cover much ground. That's why you'll go for a hoe. Otherwise you can actually use your toe as you're standing. You scratch the ground and plant any of those crops. Now when it comes to coffee, when it comes to macadamia, comes to cocoa, cashew nut, it's a different ball game. And you have to train people the way you train somebody who knows perfect English how to speak French. You have to begin with the ABC of French. That's what we learned in secondary school. New game that for French, even non-living things have gender. A table is feminine. It doesn't make sense in the English language. So it's the same with growing coffee. It's a different ball game from the other seasonal crops. So I said, you are not going to distribute seedlings unless you train people. That's what I told my youth. And we're going to begin with ABC. Many people thought I was acting strange. I said we are going step by step, so they nicknamed me Step by Step. And they feared to tell me in my face, but somebody whispered to me that, you know, they call you Step by Step. So I told them, I know you people call me Step by Step. It is the best name I've ever been given. I want you to say it openly, Mr. Step by Step. step by step. When we train our people, by next year, April, March, April, when the rains come, by September, October, God willing, when you go to the countryside in the Acholi sub-region, you'd see a marked difference because there will be coffee everywhere. At least in every village, you'll be seeing coffee. In the next 3 years, and I'll be very happy, Nelson, to bring my Lututuru Arabica coffee here. And it must, the way I have seen Sipi Kapchorwa, I want to see Lotuturu or Agoro actually here, being packaged to be sent to Germany, Turkey, United States, China. I'll really be happy. That will be our national identity. That will be our pride. And we will say the best coffee that you can ever find. We will write it on that package. And that's why I'm happy that I've come. I would never have known that in my country, in Uganda, we still have people who have, and I say this deliberately and seriously, that we still have people who put public funds and there is value for money in the country of Turkey. Otherwise, how much money did Parliament approve? How much money were you given? Can you tell us how much was it? Come again? Dollars. Uganda shillings. 126 million Uganda shillings. Billion. That's what we are seeing here. You would have sunk only a quarter. If we were lucky, you were going to sink only a quarter of that money here. Here. So apart from the benefit we are going to get, honorable ministers, you also bring other investors to come and see this. Let it not only be us. Honorable Remigio, bring your colleagues from Parliament to see this. Bring members of the cabinet to see this. Bring business people, people who get money from government, and I have no quarrel in people giving money to people, government giving money to people, because that's how we can grow, the only way we can develop, as long as we can recover, so that people really know what it means to put taxpayers' money to valuable use. This is now a study case. Here. You just come here. I'm really glad I came. I'm really glad I came. And then replicate this in some other enterprise. Replicate this in Arua, in Soroti, in Kabarole, Gisoro, Kalangala, Busoga. Replicate this in any other enterprise. If we do this, if we are able to do things with a purpose, if we are able, we can prove to the world that in no time at all, one, we would have paid all our debts to foreign institutions. Two, we will have no reason to be going to borrow money from outside. Let me tell you a story I've said so many times. The other time at the burial of the father of the minister for northern Uganda, I said it, the gentleman who said he was in Kabaramaido and he had me speaking. What he said, well, after the end of the Second World War, those people who joined the colonial army because of the colonial economy, as you put it, when they came back from Burma, having fought in Abyssinia, Gonda, having fought in Burma, the seat of Mandalay, it was the King African's Rifles that captured the seat of Mandalay to the east of Burma. Now they call Burma Myanmar. When they came back home, they made a demand of the British government that for what we have done, the contribution we have made, we want two things from the British government. We want a post-primary school that is not owned by the missionaries, because all schools had been built by missionaries throughout Uganda. Two, we want a sports ground, the way you are constructing one here. They said, we want a sports ground. The British government accepted. Part of their emolument remained with the British government. Then the districts of Karamoja, Lango, Acholi, Madi, West Nile made collections. Then the British government with the bulk money. And that's how Sir Samuel Baker Secondary School was built, sitting on a square mile of land, 640 acres. As the first secondary school in this country that was built by government, not built by missionaries. Today, if you go to Sir Samuel Baker School, you'll find the Karamoja giraffe. I don't know if you still maintain giraffe as part of your identity in your coat of arms. Yes, the Karamoja giraffe, the Lango rhinoceros, the Acholi elephant, the Madi cockerel, and the West Nile leopard in the courthouse of Sir Samuel Baker School, because that is a secondary school that does not belong to the Acholi. It is owned by the districts of northern Uganda. If you did not know, now you know. You should insist on being on the board of governors of that school, because our parents contributed money to build Sir Samuel Baker School. It should be the center of our unity, the center of our cohesion. I'm giving this example because of the reason I'm going into. When the people of Teso heard what was happening, because I think they started building Sir Samuel Baker School around 1947 or thereabout. The local government of Teso district did not go to the British. They could not justify, they did not have the same elements like the people of northern Uganda in the King African's Rifle. So they could not justify. They did not go to Barclays Bank. They did not go to any bank, for that matter. They went to a coffee growing district. They went to Bugisu Cooperative Union. We are talking about colonial time. And borrowed money from Bugisu Cooperative Union and built the famous Tesokole is aloed from coffee, not from cotton. Coffee, not cotton, not sim-sim, coffee. Arabica coffee, as you know. Then Teso taxed anything, any commodity that you lifted from your house and sold anywhere else was taxed. Cattle, groundnuts, as long as you went to the market, these were taxed. And they paid off Bugiso Cooperative Union the money they had bought. So the second non-missionary owned secondary school, Tesokole is Aloet, was built by coffee. Then when Yua Obugabe heard that there were people who were building secondary schools, they were not relying on missionaries, he said, I'm paraphrasing, how can the whole of Ankole remain behind? This is not acceptable. And that was the birth of Ntare School, which was opened in 1956 as the third non-missionary owned secondary school. You understand what I'm saying? But these were our people during colonial period. They did not have the education we have. We have the exposure. I'm not an economist, I'm a lawyer. I'm not even an agriculturalist. I'm just a lawyer, I'm just keen on changing, on transforming society. How can we, with our exposure, how can remedial with this education? Statistician, aren't you? You know about planning. All statisticians know about planning. How can we keep on saying we need to do this? How can we? How can't you go back home? How can't Honorable Anthony Akol go back to the lush Kilak Hills and say, you know what? On top of these mountains having spirits which you worship and what have you, on the foothills of Kilak, you can grow Arabica. Up on top of Kilak, there is a plateau, I believe, you can grow Arabic, and you change the lives of our people completely. How can't we do it? How can't we? We must get away from these suits of ours. We must go on the ground and lead by example. And that's the genesis of my 25 acres of coffee. And I planted all that in May this year. And I got my banana all the way from Isingiro. I bought 3,500 suckers of, what is the other banana which is not plantain? Yes, gonja. Yeah, I was looking for the word gonja, of gonja. And then 1,500 acres, suckers of matoke. And they're doing very well. And of the 25 acres, I am going to irrigate 24 acres. But I'm going to leave out 1 acre where I will cause water to be poured by hand, manually, so that people can see that what I'm doing manually, of course I'll be paying people to do it, they themselves can do with a 1/4 acre. Yeah. There's no family which cannot water 115 coffee trees. There's no family, unless they really enjoy being poverty-stricken. So I will certainly irrigate network of pipes for the 24 acres, but 1 acre I'm leaving, where people will come and they are trained that they can do it. For this, my brothers and sisters in northern Uganda can do it. These 3 months of severe dry spell can be tamed. It can be tamed. Yeah, well, water throughout that period. You water at night, you water early in the morning. They can, and after 2 years, coffee is a tree. It can survive. It will suffer the dry spell, but it will survive. But of course, if you want money, you continue watering. Then you can work out with Nelson Tugume. How much coffee can this infrastructure we have seen here, when it is finally done, how much coffee can it send into the world market? How much money, convertible currency, can it bring to this country? How much of that money will be taxed? And it helped to build a road from Gulu to Karamoja. We call it Moroto Road. It still retains that name. How much of that money will go there? You can work it out. So my brothers and sisters, I'm glad I came. I'm really glad I came. It was going to be one of those huge mistakes. Honestly, I didn't want to disappoint you. I came because I love keeping friends. I don't have that many friends, but my friends know how loyal I am as a friend. Yeah. I didn't know you had this here. I congratulate you. I hail you. Honorable Minister for Presidency, all sorts of people have been given medals. Even people who should not be given grace have been given medals. There are people who deserve medals in this country. Let me not say more. Otherwise, thank you so much. May God bless all of us.
One more time, please put your hands together for my Lord, step by step. I must say, you're a brilliant man. You've said wonderful things. I thought you were reading. Everything you just, I looked, I said, hey, I'm going to make you my friend.
I was reading from here. You cannot see if you're a sinner. For those who are old enough, you know the story of Abdul. If you're a sinner, you cannot see the notes which have been written here, from which I was reading.
My Lord, we're going to do 2 things. Today is a product launch. We have our first truck that has product that is moving out to supermarkets. You're going to flag it off, and it's going to go to the supermarkets all over Kampala, Uganda. You're going to flag it off. You're going to give us a blessing, and we are going to raise our hands and pray a blessing on our first fruit to the market. And when you're done, you'll come and do our capping, and then we'll have dinner. We had lunch the other side. We have dinner. But Nelson, my brother, next time, let's have some Uganda Waraji. General has taken a lot of coffee.
Can this go there? Can this? Oh, we have a mobile one.
Dembe Distributors, CEO, please come, we flag off. And the honorable ministers, please. So we can first sign it off, our first fruit. Yeah. General, please also come and sign, Honorable. please come and sign. First year.
You are nice. Hunter them kasunda bus. Holy wa beat, holy wa lice. Kuletere kuchi to Versace. Holy original, holy muchupule njoba over China. Kasusu kali original. Paulo nchamura. Wakala nyoyera undi momusai. Wantambo za lujegere kukakali. Ulusintruna nenebu za ntino zani. Zani kumenyera kumakati. Ulilo tambo nchamura mkwano inside. When you come my way. Ulilo sembera ulilo inside. Yeah, it's okay. Baby, waya. Nzisagala kumanya manya. It's okay. Baby, waya. Nzisagala kumanya manya. Ojo, tonde nyanse uko kwagale nyo. Uko changa na kukuzala lenya. Nolusi ntula nenebuza. Zani, ayagala mulungi ngabwe. Lengere chiwato chichowe chigonda. Nebazo motonzi wate ya kuona. Nebweba fitina barike weto bawona. Timoli chanda kukasenda bazana. Wakala nyoyera undi momusai. Wantambuza lujegere kukakali. Ulusintruna nenebuza ntinonzani. Lani ngomenyera ulilo tambulo nchamula mukwano inside. When you come my way. Ulilo sembera ulilo inside. Yeah, it's okay. Baby, waya. Nzisagala kumanya manya. It's okay. Baby, waya. Nzisagala kumanya manya. Ojo, tonde nyanse uko kwagale nyo. Kuboku changa na kukuzala lenya. Nolusi ntula nenebuza. Zani, ayagala mulungi ngabwe. Mwala, ontagaza butagaza. Nolusi nenera bina byenkolai. Ondogeza luchayina. Ira bikanze wansangina galakaina. Tekuli kendera. Manyo mukwano ngaffe baby gwalwera. Onyumisa mmera. Nebemba sefuna sijibira bala my girl. Onyiriride, otunulide, samaliride girl. Onyiriride, baby kele mwede. Boyolo give me overdose all over. Body good sweet like commando masuka. Mochifuba chopilo, me love your love kilo. Manabala la zero, body below kasa zero. So many will come and go. Mayomu kwana kono mana gompalo. Uri wetura gendo tupa so. Come see your baby mama eat a triangle. I am in the mood. Can I see you tonight? See you tonight. Wagala baby for life. Baby for life.
Okay. Let's have our chief guest please come and flag off with Dembe. EO, please come. And Dembe. No, this behind. Okay. So we're just going to flag like that, and the truck will be off to the market.
With great happiness, I hereby flag the first truck of Inspire Africa Coffee into the market within this country and beyond. Thank you.
Please, all you raise your hands. Let's share blessing. There you go. Thank you very much. Okay, now entertainment. Yeah. Okay, DJ, play some song from the north. Yeah, actually, play that one. Play that one. Play that one. Honorable. General.
Inspire Africa Coffee. We launch our new product, ladies and gentlemen, alongside our Chief Justice and Minister of Energy. A very big hand clap, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations as we go to next step. Wow. Dr. Nelson.